What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Configuring Cisco Threat Response. I'm Adi Shankar from Cisco's Security Integrations team, and in this tutorial, we'll walk through configuring the Web Security module in Threat Response. There are two methods of creating the module, using a standalone Web Security Appliance or using Security Management Appliance, which centralizes the reporting and tracking of multiple WSAs. This video will detail the steps to integrate a standalone WSA with Threat Response. However, the configuration steps for SMA are nearly identical, and I will point out any minor differences. As more and more web traffic is encrypted, WSA offers unparalleled, granular visibility into the full URLs of HTTP GET requests, as well as insight into encrypted file downloads. The Web Tracking API provides data such as IP addresses, domains, URLs, and file hashes, which Threat Response can use to speed up the investigation of web threats. A quick look at our agenda here. First, we'll see a basic investigation before configuring the WSA module. Then we'll do a step-by-step walkthrough of the module configuration. And finally, we'll revisit our original investigation to see the added functionality. Let's kick things off with a simple investigation from the Threat Response console. We can see that I'm only investigating one SHA-256 file hash. In the relations graph, we can see that we don't have much data about this particular file hash. In fact, none of the currently configured modules have provided any enrichments. Down below, the sightings timeline confirms that I have 0 sightings in my environment. We'll take a second look at this investigation after configuring the Web Security module. Let's begin our configuration in the WSA UI. We'll first want to confirm the version of our WSA by selecting System Administration and then choosing System Upgrade. Support for SMA integration as well as direct integration from WSA to Threat Response began in Async OS 12.0. From this page, I can see that I'm using Async OS 12.0.1, which is a supported version. Before proceeding on with the configuration, we need to issue a CLI command on the WSA. The CTR observable subcommand allows Threat Response to granularly search any URLs indexed in the appliance tracking database. To access the CLI, first launch an SSH session to the WSA. Once logged in, enter the main command reporting config. Then enter the subcommand CTR observable. Enter Y to have the changes take effect. With that completed, we are now ready to proceed forward. Navigate to the network dropdown and then select Cloud Services Settings. This step involves registering the WSA to the cloud. For customers using SMA to manage multiple WSAs, the same Cloud Services Settings page is available in the SMA UI. You'll want to make sure your SMA is running at least Async OS version 12.5 so Threat Response can take advantage of the Web Tracking API and the next-gen UI components. Back to our integration, I can see that Threat Response is currently disabled. In order to enable it, select Edit Settings. Make sure the checkbox next to Enable is selected and then click Submit. Now we need to commit the changes to ensure they take effect. I'll add a brief comment and commit the changes. Now that I've enabled Threat Response, I need to register my WSA to the cloud. In order to do so, I'll need a registration token. Let's get back to Threat Response to obtain the token. From Threat Response, select the settings icon in the top right. In the left menu pane, select Devices, and then select Manage Devices. This opens a new tab in the Security Services Exchange portal. From here, select the plus icon to generate a new token. I'll leave the options as default and select Continue. With the token copied to my clipboard, I'll head back to the WSA. From here, it's as simple as pasting in the registration token and selecting Register. In a moment, once the page refreshes, we should see the status change to registered. Alright, great. In order to confirm a successful registration, back in the Security Services Exchange portal, select the refresh icon to refresh the device list. Don't worry if you don't see your device immediately, as it may take a minute or two. We can see here that my WSA is successfully registered. Now it's time for the final piece of the integration, which is adding the module to Threat Response. Back in the Threat Response UI, select Modules from the left settings pane, then select Add New Module. Note that there are two web security modules, one for customers using SMA and one for WSA direct integration. I'll select the appropriate one for our direct WSA integration. Using the dropdown, I'll select the WSA we just registered. I've also opted to change the request time frame from the default 30 days to 7 days. Reducing the request time frame improves performance for larger organizations who may be running multiple investigations at once. Lastly, click Save to create the module. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have completed this integration in a matter of a few minutes. The only thing left to do is see how the addition of this new module has benefited our original investigation. We can see here that I'm investigating the same SHA-256 file hash as before, but this time the relations graph has yielded much more information. To the right, in the Modules tab, we can see the WSA has provided one citing. The first thing we notice in the relations graph is the purple target endpoint. I can see that this endpoint has downloaded the file in question. In addition, I can see the exact HTTPS URL used to access the file. In this case, it seems the file was downloaded from Google Drive. Now that we have seen the powerful functions of this integration, I encourage all WSA customers to take advantage of threat response to investigate web threats at multiple layers of an attack trajectory. The pivot options from WSA's Next-Gen UI to threat response simplify the workflow to make security operations more efficient. Last but not least, stay tuned for more tutorials from Cisco's Security Integrations team.